Hey everybody, what is up? So it is the night before Easter and the bunny ears figured this is the time of the year to wear them. So pulled them out and here we are. So I hope everybody has a good and safe Easter, or has had a good and safe Easter, depending on when this video actually goes up. Yeah, so not much has been going on around here. Where are we? Not even a minute in and I start choking. I don't know what is wrong with me, why I always start choking when I start talking on the video. Okay, anywho, so yeah, not much has been going on around here. Same old quarantine life. Gotta love it. Yeah, so I don't know. I just wanted to come on video, do a video, because hey, why not? Another night. Normally I watch The Nanny, no big surprise during this time, but since it is a Saturday night, it is not on tonight, so here we are. Anywho, so yeah, so what's there really to talk about? Or at least update on. I mean, there's all kinds of things to talk about, but oh my gosh, it has begun. I'm just looking at myself in the viewfinder here. We are going to get through this video. Yeah, I was borderline hangry, and I was like snacking on some chips a while ago, and now like I'm still hungry, but I just feel like I'm in a delusional phase right now of just from being hungry and from not having my typical TV show on at the moment. I swear, I get into these whole fits where I have to like watch the same, it's like a habitual thing where I have to watch the same thing night after night. It's like a routine thing, and if like I don't have that part of my routine, like if something breaks up the routine, then I'm just kind of like So yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of cutting in this video, a lot of editing in this video, as much as I hate editing, but it happens. I guess something that I've been doing quite a bit lately is playing my Vegas apps. Not like anything's really any good right now, but something I haven't talked about lately has been those games, and more specifically is the win slot app. So I had done all these videos and ended up scrapping them because the game changed back, what was it, like, was it September, October? Like, it was after I went to Vegas. Of course, they had to change everything. And so I mean, I understand why they changed certain things, but then they went and changed things again and made it even more difficult to, like, before when they changed it, I mean, you had to work harder to move on up to be able to claim your rewards. But then it got to the point to where they did another update where you actually had to pay in to really claim your rewards, or at least to stay at the hotel. Like, it was, I mean, I guess it was possible that you could do it without buying any of the incentives in the game, but I mean, you would have really had to be like obsessively dedicated to playing it around the clock to be able to do that. And for most people, that's not possible, especially for people who like have, you know, who have a life. Or, okay, so well, I mean, we all have a life, but like, you know, have to work. Like, have to get up and go to work and can't have your phone with you at work. So yeah, that made that darn near well impossible. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, so they went and changed it again. So before, like, you could always redeem up to 4 nights. Like, if you had enough of the gems, you could redeem up to 4 nights. And then, as far as I know, you could, like, on your 4th night, like, while you were there at the resort, and you're on your 4th night and everything, you could, if you still had enough gems, you could keep rebooking rooms. So, I mean, there are people who said that they got like multiple sets of nights and or were able to redeem like multiple sets of 4 nights during their duration of a Vegas trip. So that kind of, I understand why I went and did this, and they made it difficult to claim let me rephrase this. They then updated the app to where, like, so in order to redeem 4 nights, 4 consecutive nights at one time, you basically would have to pay, what was it, like over $700. Like, you'd have to put $700 into the app to move up to a level to where you could redeem that many nights in a row. I think, like, during that second big update, you could pay like $200 and get the 4 nights, like level up enough to redeem the 4 nights, or up to 4 nights if you wanted to. And then the latest update did it so that if you wanted to redeem the 4 nights, you'd have to pay over $700. And if you could still like pay like at the level that you this is so complicated to like for me to explain without like having some kind of flow chart. Anyway, for the $200, if you'd put in $200, then you could redeem 2 nights, and you could get your little buffets too. That's another thing. You could redeem for buffets as well. But then there wasn't like a lot of clarification that after those 2 nights, if you had enough gems, could you rebook another set of 2 nights? In which case you could pay the $200 to level up, book 2 nights, and then your second night there, redeem for another 2 nights, and then after that second night, on that round of redemptions, then could you redeem for another 2 nights? That was kind of like one of those things like, could you do that? But as of prior to the pandemic, you know, if you had to pay $700, I think it was over 700, may have been like 750. I could be very wrong about that, but I haven't really, like, I read over it, like, I was kind of keeping up with it for a while, and then all this stuff started setting in, and it's just kind of like, I don't, anyway. Anywho, so, basically, if you paid that $700+ to level up to that point, you could redeem a bunch of buffets, like, what was it, 6 buffets, which, I mean, altogether it might be worth it, but if you... Again, I'm not sure I know all the details, but from what I understand and from my experience, if you've already stayed at the Wynn Hotel, or I don't know if it's so much that you've stayed, like you've already been a guest at the Wynn Hotel, or if you just are part of their rewards program. Is that the proper way to put it right now? I'm just kind of like brain dead at the moment, as usual. Like if you're part of the yeah, we'll just say rewards, where, you know, you go to a casino, you sign up, you get like a rewards card. That's what I'm just gonna call it, if that's how it works. But you get an offer on a regular basis where you spend like $129 a night, or and you get like a free, or you get like 2 free buffets or something like that. So you spend like $130, you get 1 night, 2 free buffets. And so, I mean, that's compared to like that's like the discounted deal that you get through Wynn for that other. I'm getting distracted by what's going on in the background here. Okay, so this is horrible. I cannot keep straight with what I'm talking about. Okay, so what I'm getting at is, it's really not worth it to even play Wynn slots in that case, because you're putting in a lot of time. You're having to dedicate a lot of time. And like, so say for instance you spent $200 to level up to redeem 2 nights, and I think you can redeem 2 buffets at that point. Well, yeah, you're spending $200, but if you paid out of pocket without playing the slot at all, you'd spend like $260 and get this, you get 2 nights and again 2 buffets. I mean, yeah, you're paying $60 more, but that's the time that you like didn't have to put into the app, which for me, I mean, it's just free time anyway. It's like while I'm sitting here watching TV, I'll be messing with it, but if I counted all the hours I put into that app from the time after I went to Vegas, ooh, man. But, yeah, so I'm still playing win slots, but I don't have much hope for the future in it. Watch, you know, after this pandemic is over and they open Vegas back up and everything, they'll probably make the reward even more difficult to claim. So, they'd probably make, like, the buffets even more difficult to claim, because basically, like, if you had to start from scratch and you built up enough gems for a buffet, you would still have to be on a certain level to redeem the buffets. And if, like, starting from scratch, I think, I'm not even sure you can build up to the level to redeem buffets without investing anything. But if you have to invest anything, I think it's, like, the maximum you would have to spend to claim a buffet is $25, if I'm not wrong. So that's not too bad, because I think the buffets are valued about $40 each. So that, again, that's not a bad value. I mean, you can only redeem like 2 a month at that level. So that's like $80 worth of buffets for $25. So that might be worthwhile. But definitely going to impact the future trip to Vegas, because I still plan on going back to Vegas. You know, maybe not when this pandemic is over immediately, but sometime maybe before the end of the year, depending on how things play out. Follows fellas, I still have my Vegas, those apps, like the rewards from there, if they again don't change the structure, which that's through MGM. So there's still a possibility to stay at those properties for a few nights, depending. But you have to pay resort fees for sure at those properties, which they range anywhere from, I believe, $35 to, when I stayed at Bellagio, they had just gone up and it went up to like $51 or $52 at that point. So again, $52 wasn't bad for Bellagio. I was happy to pay that. Like, that doesn't bother me one bit, because that's some nice staying. And that wouldn't really, like, had Wynn continued on to where, like, if you paid $200, which that's, I mean, that's not even an exact figure, that's just kind of estimating like the most you would have to pay to level up from like from scratch. So actually, like, you would have had to really pay less if you've been playing all alone. But anyway, that's beside the point. But say if you did have to, at that time, if you had to have paid $200, you could have gotten up to 4 nights, and that would have been $50 a night, which, no complaints here. That, I mean, that's the way I felt. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not mad about that, but yeah. Actually, I take that back. Was that the 3rd update, or have we had 4 updates? Because it seemed like at one point it was going to cost $100 to level up to claim that many nights, and then it went up to $200, and now it's like $700 plus dollars. Oh, good grief. I can't. So, yeah, but the plan was, like, going back to Vegas was going to stay at Wynn the most nights I possibly could, like, up to 4 nights, and then, like, stayed along the strip at the MGM properties for a couple of nights, and then Binion's and Four Queens on Fremont Street, or in the Fremont Street district, they had their own apps where you can, like, earn enough rewards to get, like, a dollar amount credit for, like, a room. So you could get, like, a $50 amount credit or a $100 amount credit. And I think the rooms at Four Queens are typically $50 a night. So the plan was to save up enough to get a couple nights at Four Queens. And then the Binion's now has the hotel open back up, but I think that's like $100 plus a night for that. And if you're gonna, it's a better deal to stay at Four Queens in that case. But anywho, so I've spent like however long talking about that. Alright, so but I can't wait. Like, I was watching, or with the way things are right now, like, my typical routine is to stay up till like basically 4 o'clock in the morning, go to bed, and then wake up at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So last night at 3 a.m. I realized that Pawn Stars was on TV, which, you know, which is basically broadcast TV. Don't have cable. That was a show that I never really got to watch much, but well, I guess they still do. I was going to say they used to play it in the wee hours of the morning. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I saw it last night, or early this morning, whatever. And so I again reminded of Vegas. I was like thinking, oh hey, that's like when I was in Vegas and we took our little trip to Fremont Street. Our Lyft driver pointed out where the Pawn Stars store was, like as we were going by it. I was like, oh cool. And I was thinking in my head, okay, cool, so before we roll out of here at the end of our trip, let's stop at the Pawn store. And I just totally slipped my mind. Something else I was reminded of while watching that is the way that the streets in Vegas are, which that's the one pet peeve I have about Vegas. The one thing I don't like, it's always something when traveling that I find that I don't like, that makes me like not want to drive around there, is the fact that the streets in Vegas, they don't have like the painted dotted lines like most streets do for their lanes. They just have the little reflectors for their lanes, and I already have a hard enough time following a straight line. Those little dotted lines on the road to keep you in your lane, to stay in your lane, girl. I need those. Like, I seriously need those to stay in my freaking lane. And so that kind of, when I was driving through Vegas, that kind of made me on edge. And I remember like driving out of Vegas, like driving in Vegas, yeah, that is, especially like on the interstate around there, it seemed like that's how the interstate lanes were too, and I was kind of like, ooh, yikes. And like driving out of there, I remember that standing out in my mind because we kind of drove in that direction of the pawn shop, but we turned off before we ever, like, the GPS took me on like a little turn, like right before we ever got to that location anyway. So I remember I was like, ooh, which lane am I supposed to like be in? Like, because I knew like I need to make a turn up ahead, but there's no like specific turning lane, and it's just like, I don't know, maybe that's a me problem, I don't know. I was kind of like, yeah, that's the one thing, like, now that I know about it, I'm kind of like, I mean, I guess it's helpful that I do know about it, but that's the one little stress to Vegas for me. That's kind of like here in Nashville, the way the interstates are, like, you could be traveling on I-24 and then all of a sudden like splits off and goes to like I-40, and then it's like stays on I-24, and then all of a sudden I-24 becomes like I-65, and they're like, they split and then they come back together. I do not, if I can at all, I avoid driving the interstate to downtown. Like, I'll get on the interstate to go like southbound or like eastbound away from here, but if I'm going westbound or northbound, no. If I can at all possible, I will take the back roads the long way if I have to, just to avoid that darn interstate system going through downtown, because it is a mess. And that's just how I am. I'm just really particular about driving. But the funny thing is, like I say, like, I don't mind, like, I'd rather drive to Las Vegas than have to drive through downtown. But the sad thing is, in order to start that route without going way, way out of the way to even begin the route, you have to go through downtown. In fact, what we did was, even though the interstates are right down the street this way, I ended up going like to different, I went, like, I could get on the interstate and go on 24 to get on 40, but I ended up going all the way to get on 65 so that I could avoid a lot of the mess. And yeah, anywho, I wound up going in the right direction. I mean, I only had to go like maybe 10 minutes out of the way to do that, but it saved a lot of headaches. And that's just me. That's the qualms of me and driving in Nashville. Yeah, so whenever, oh shoot, that just reminded me of something. I have some footage of when I drove downtown just a few weeks ago, before they had already like issued like the whole like, you know, maybe like we want you ideally to stay at home, but it wasn't like a mandated thing, and then right after that they made it a mandated thing. But went out driving around downtown because it's like, oh, I haven't driven around downtown in a while, and I know like they're constantly like, now they're constantly building stuff, and I was like, oh, let's just go drive around downtown during the day and see what's up. Look around a little bit. So I've got some footage of that, but my laptop was giving me a hard time with the footage. I mean, it loaded on there, but for me to like watch the playback to see like what footage I may want to use, because I got like over 40 minutes worth of footage just driving to downtown and driving around a bunch. But my laptop is giving me a fit, which that's why I hate editing, because that stupid laptop is problematic. So, and that's what I edit on, is my laptop. And like I said, it is very problematic. So, yeah. Anywho. Oh yeah, so I guess I don't know, like just talking here. I may make that its own little video, but then again, that's kind of, I don't know, is that boring? It is kind of boring. What? Oh. Okay, I've got like Saturday Night Live going on, which I'm not into this whole new generation of Saturday Night Live, but this is like, they've got the whole, where they did everything from their homes, and they've like made it into Saturday Night Live, and Tom Hanks is like hosting it, and yeah, okay, anyway, that's what's going on over here. That's what keeps distracting me, because I'm like, wait, what's going on TV? Yeah, so I may make that footage its own video, put some lively music in the background, maybe speed it up. The bad thing about that, the one thing I hate about like driving footage is like when you speed it up, if anybody's like me, like it makes me car sick to watch it back. I mean, it's fun to like look at the locations in the footage, but if you play it like in real time, then oh man, it is slow. Like that's slow. It's just kind of like, okay, okay. But when you're watching it in like, you know, sped up, it's like, oh, okay, it's not as long and dragged out. But then at the same time, watching it sped up, I'm like, oh gosh, I'm gonna puke. So frustration is real. Maybe I'll incorporate that into another blog somehow. So we'll see. I may just go ahead and end this blog here and then maybe start another blog, because this one is already past 20 minutes. How? Yay, 20 minutes of talking about absolutely nothing worthwhile. So, yeah. Yeah. Alright, so I'll just leave that here for now, and we may reconvene here in a moment or in a future video. So anywho, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's staying safe, you know, following like what your area has like recommended you follow. I should have known better. It did not even occur to me that this, what I always know would happen, where it just cuts me off because I'm just talking way too much. Anywho, I hope everybody's following the guidelines that their state or their area, country, location, province, city has put into place to keep everybody safe. And I hope everybody's doing well, that your families are staying safe, you're staying safe, everybody's in good health, and maybe this pandemic will end sooner rather than later. So anyway, take care and thanks for watching.